students, how are you all? Hope you're doing great at home, studying, right? So today we are going to start with the next topic in the chapter Federalism. Here we will take what makes India a federal country. Last video we have seen two methods or two routes through which federations are formed. Now see, till now we have seen the meaning of federalism, then what are the features of federalism, right? And two routes of making federations. Now we will see that what all arrangements are here in India that we call it as a federal country. Okay. Now if we see our constitution, then the makers of constitution of India, they have nowhere mentioned that India is a federal country. Okay, they have mentioned it as a union of states. Okay, because if you know or if you remember class 8 we have studied that the princely states issue, right? The princely states crisis, that few princely states like Hyderabad, Junagadh, Kashmir, they were not ready to join India, right? So here we will see that why the word is not used federal, then do we call it as a federal country. Okay, it is just because we have such features of federalism in India, that this is why we call it as a federal country. Okay. Now we have seen in the countries of Belgium and Sri Lanka in the first chapter that how very less diversity also in Sri Lanka, only two religious communities, only two linguistic diversities they could not accommodate, right? And it led to civil war. Then we have seen that in India it is such a vast country. It has so many languages, religions, regions, cultures. Then what are the power sharing arrangements in India, that no such situation like Sri Lanka, touch wood, it has not happened in India. So what are such arrangements? We will begin with the constitution. That India emerged as an independent country after a long, after a long war struggle and very painful and bloody partition. Soon after independence, several princely states became a part of the country. If you remember that act of independence of India, when it was passed by the British government, this act said that the princely states will be free either to join India, to join Pakistan, or remain independent. Okay, so when India got independence from British, few princely states they joined India on their own. Okay, but the constitution then declared India as a union of states. Okay, but we have few features in the structure of the government which makes India a federal country, but the makers of constitution they did not call it so. So what is the reason? First, though, we see that when India emerged as an independent country, if that time India was declared as a federal nation, that time India was not in the situation, that so many powers could be given to center. Okay, sorry, states, because states that time they were also new, right? They did not have experience, or it was it was very delicate part. You can say very sensitive time for India, right? That time integrity of India or unity of India was the biggest concern for the government. Okay, so that's why to hold them together, or you can say that time the major trick which was used, or you can say right now as we say that we share power to hold them together, right? But that time it was avoided. It is not so that states were not given power. Yes, they were given power, but the word federalism was not mentioned in the constitution. Okay, so um, we can see that all the features now in India, okay, the in the government, all the features of federalism they apply to India. First feature which of federalism we have seen, that power is shared among different levels. So isn't power shared in India among different levels? Yes, it is shared, right? Among central government, then state government, then in among the you can say local government also, right? So this makes India a federal country, because this is a very basic to any federation or federal country, that power should be shared among different levels, and it is shared in India among different levels. Although it is not mentioned in the constitution that India is a federal country, but that doesn't matter. We have all those features of federal countries. Okay, so now we will see what all these arrangements are. Okay, so let us get started. Here I have jotted few of the top points. We will take only 3 here. Next I will make one more video on the same topic, what makes India a federal country, where I will cover points 4, 5 and 6. Right now our focus is only on the first, second, third point. First point says Constitution has declared India as a union of states. We saw that. 3 tiers: federalism, union, state and panchayat. Now when the constitution was made, that time there was only two-fold distribution, means among center and state. But then amendment was passed later. Okay, we will be studying about that. Where third level was also introduced, where panchayats or municipalities were also given power for the local level. Then third, threefold distribution of legislative powers under union list, state list and concurrent list. You have been studying regarding these three lists, I think from class 8, right? You all are very familiar with this word, with these words. Let us see what are these lists. First, union list. It includes subjects of national importance such as defense of the country, foreign affairs, banking, communication and currency. Okay, so there are such 100 subjects in the union list. Okay, here we have quoted very few. So why these subjects are mentioned in the union list? Now let us take the example of foreign affairs. If different states will have different relations with, if foreign affairs were also under the states, okay, then different states may have different types of relations with the countries. For example, Kerala may have good relations with Nepal, then other states may not have, or different state may have, or with any other country we can take the example, right? It may harm the unity of the country. Okay, then also there will be state of confusion, right, that what India's foreign policy is actually representing, right? Foreign policies, is for the nation, it is not by the different states. Then banking, just imagine if each state has its own currency, then we are traveling from one place to another, then you have to change currency. Right now, as you see now that when we travel to other countries, then we have to change the currencies, right? Sometimes in India also, especially people those who are engaged in shipping and all, as all customer goes in with that US dollars, then they have to change the money at currency change, right? Then they get Indian rupees and all. Now if the system was there in each state, if they had their own currency, then if we are traveling from one state to another, then we have to carry the currency of that state, calculate that what does this currency, if we have 1 rupee of this state, how much it will be in another state and all. So state of confusion again. Then communication, then defense of the country. All such 100 subjects are there which are of national importance, so they are included in the union list. It means the union government or the central government can make laws in this union or on these subjects. Only central government, okay, alone center can make. Then comes state list. It contains subjects of state and local importance such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture, irrigation. It can have health, education, sanitation, etc. It means such subjects are of local importance or of state importance. Okay, let us see agriculture. Now agricultural needs of different states, they may vary from one state to another. Same for irrigation. Few states may need intense irrigation because they don't get rain properly, annual rain, or then others may not need because some states they get equal distribution of rainfall throughout the year. So irrigation needs and all, this cannot be tackled by the center, right? Then police system, trade, commerce, education also. You might have you all are knowing that each state has its own education board, right now. If you're living in Gujarat, then Gujarat board, then Punjab, it has its Punjab board, right? They have their own syllabus, on pattern, on examination system and all. Then we have health also, health ministries, and also we have commerce, then we have hygiene, etc., sanitation, etc. So there are such, how many subjects? There are 61 subjects in state list. Okay, it means on these subjects only state government can make law. Okay, This is why we said that they have their own jurisdiction. If you now remember the word jurisdiction, this is why we were saying that center, state and local level, they have their own jurisdiction on area of control or on area of rule. Okay, because they are given different subjects, that on these subjects center will make law, or on these subjects state will make law, or on these subjects, okay, both can make law. Okay, so now comes concurrent list. Here most of the students get confused that as here center state, so it will be local. No, it is not local. Concurrent list contains such subjects. There are 52 subjects. 52 subjects are there in the concurrent list, where both the governments, union and the state government, can make law. Okay, it includes subjects of common interest to both the union government as well as the state governments. The list includes education. Now when we say education, each state has its own board, right? They have, in that state, that state language, right, which is the regional language of that state. Right now if you are living in Gujarat, then there will be one in Gujarat board schools, Gujarati will be compulsory language there, but at the same time there will be Hindi also, right? So there is one other board also which we call as CBSE, right, Central Board of School Education. So education issue, it can be uh, so on education state government can also make law and central government can also make law. Then same for forest, trade union, marriage, adoption and succession. Succession means that property succession. So there are around such 52 subjects where both the governments can make law. Both the union as well as the state governments can make laws on the subjects mentioned in the list. If their laws conflict with each other, the law made by the union government will be considered. Now it may happen that on education, if let us take the example of right now this lockdown. During this we have seen that CBSE has introduced new guidelines for schools and all, that online classes should go on, teachers should send material, and this. And we have seen that examination dates also have been scheduled now in July 1 to 15. So such, there can be conflicts, they may vary from the state government. Different state governments also can suggest that no, the dates of examination should not be this, it should be earlier or later, or there can be syllabus changes and all. So they may there can be differences of our views on education or any other subject in the concurrent list. So in such case what happens, the decision taken by the union government will be considered. Okay, the decision, or you can say the views of the central government or the union government will prevail. Okay, it shows, this is why we said when we were studying in the last video the difference between holding together and coming together. This was also one of the difference, that in holding together center is more powerful than state. Okay, this is the one example. If in the concurrent list there are issues or there are differences between the center and state, then the decision of union government will be considered. Okay, so this is how you can say we call India, this is why we call India as a federal country, because there is power sharing arrangement, threefold power sharing arrangement is there. Okay, this is one reason we call India as a federal country. We'll be seeing one more part of the same video. Okay, same topic elaborated, the video will come. Here we can conclude in this table, union list has subjects of national importance. Union alone means center government alone, means parliament alone can make laws. Subjects you can just mention here: defense, banking, currency, foreign affairs, etc. Then state list, subjects of local and state importance, only state government can make law, such as police, trade, commerce. Then concurrent list, subjects of common interest, which can be of national importance also, or which can be of state importance also. Okay, so such subjects are of which where both the governments can make law, and these are the subjects. Okay, so because now concurrent list, it if you think, if you pay much attention, then you will see that the makers of constitution, how wise or how how strong their foresight was. They could imagine that time that there can be such subjects which are not included in the state list or the union list, which may be of importance to both, right? So later on there should not be conflicts between both the levels of government. So all those subjects are included in the concurrent list, right? How this shows their wiseness. I hope you have understood this topic. What makes India a federal country? Threefold distribution of power. It is called union list, state list, and concurrent list. In the next video, we will be covering other parts of the same topic. Okay. So we'll see you soon in next video. Take care. Thank you for watching.